I want to begin tonight with a video. Let me say this first. What you're about to see did not happen. But you must see it.
Let's see.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Oh merde. Oh mon Dieu. Viens voir, viens voir.
Fighter jets are invading France, dropping bombs all over Paris. A woman poses in front of the Eiffel Tower. Seconds later, explosions rock the city. Large plumes of smoke engulf Paris. There are air raid sirens, the sound of a child crying. None of this is real. But Ukraine's defense ministry has released this video with a message. Just think if this were to happen to another European capital. This is their message. And this message was addressed to NATO. What will they do if Europe is attacked? The hypothetical video was followed by a real attack. Russia struck at the doorstep of NATO. Multiple missile strikes hit Ukraine's border with Poland. The attack took place barely 25 kilometers from the Polish border, from Polish territory. NATO says it is a grave provocation. Russia says they asked for it. There are also reports of a possible chemical attack in Donbas. 2 Ukrainian mayors have been abducted. All of this is happening when Ukraine says there's quote-unquote progress in talks with Russia. So which way is this going? Is the war ending or is it escalating? On Gravitas tonight, we'll bring you the latest from battleground Ukraine. We'll start with the Russian attack near the Poland border. The target was a Ukrainian military base in Yavoriv. Russian jets fired around 30 rockets at this facility. At least 35 people have died. This is a serious escalation. Russia in fact has taken this invasion right up to NATO's doorstep. The facility that was bombed hosted international NATO drills. So local lawmakers are now asking for NATO's help. They're making the same demand that Ukraine's president has been making. NATO should protect Ukrainian skies and shoot down Russian planes when they fly in.
That is why we keep asking NATO to close the sky, because to fight with an enemy who does not even enter Ukraine but launches a cruise missile, it is necessary to have a serious air defense system.
So that is the demand. Declare a no-fly zone, shoot down Russian planes. How is the West responding? The United States says NATO forces will be repositioned.
We continue to flow and to move and to reposition forces and capabilities along NATO's eastern flank to make sure that we can defend every inch of NATO territory if we need to. Now, there's no reason we should need to, because there's no reason that there should be war in Ukraine as it is. And we've made it very clear to Russia that NATO territory will be defended not just by the United States, but by our allies.
You heard him. NATO territory will be defended, says the U.S. For Ukraine, that means no help. Ukraine is facing a more aggressive Russian army now. Fighter jets were out of the battlefield so far. They're now becoming the weapon of choice for the Russians. Cities are being bombed relentlessly. We accessed a video today. It was shot by the Ukrainians. This is what it shows. The city of Mariupol, this is what it looked like after a Russian bombing campaign. Look at these images. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine has issued a fresh warning. The Ukrainian president says the West was told about the Russian provocations last year itself and that the war will now spill into NATO territories.
I'll reiterate now that if you don't close our skies, then it's just a matter of time before Russian missiles will hit your territory, NATO's territory, and the houses of NATO citizens.
Differences between Ukraine and its Western allies are now out in the open. Just consider what Ukraine's foreign minister said today. Let me quote from his statement. To those abroad scared of being dragged into World War III, Ukraine fights back successfully. We need you to help us fight, provide us with all necessary weapons. The Russian invasion has entered its third week. According to multiple reports, Russia did not expect the war to last this long. Kiev believes Moscow is intensifying the attack. In fact, the government of Ukraine has made a big claim. It says Russia is using chemical bombs in Donbas. Over the weekend, a monastery was struck in eastern Donbas. 30 civilians were injured. Ukraine has reason to believe that Russia used a phosphorus bomb here. Now, these claims are yet to be independently verified, but remember, the US and Ukraine have been raising fears of a possible chemical attack since last week. Poland is feeling the heat. It wants NATO to do more. Polish President Andrzej Duda has spoken out. Let me quote from what he said. If he, that's Vladimir Putin, uses any weapons of mass destruction, then this will be a game changer in the whole thing. NATO, he says, would have to think seriously what to do, because then it starts to be dangerous, not only for Europe, but the whole world. There is another worry, the sudden disappearance of Ukrainian mayors. Russian forces have been accused of kidnapping them. 2 of them went missing over the weekend. In fact, in Melitopol, Russia has apparently installed a pro-Kremlin mayor. Her name is Galina Danilchenko. This week could decide the outcome of the conflict. Peace talks have resumed, but Russian forces are dangerously close to Kiev. Today, a Russian airstrike hit a residential building there. Zelensky is demanding a meeting with Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin is yet to respond. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.